Hi, Melanie Chris here with Community Therapy Services, wanting to speak to you about activities that you can do with items you should be able to find around the house, hopefully, that can work on skills for school. So today I want to talk about, well, if you have a chalkboard, that's fantastic. I don't know if everyone would have a chalkboard, but most of you could probably find a cardboard box that you could cut up and cut a rectangle out of that cardboard box. Also, look around the house and see if you can find some sponges. If you have a couple colors, that'd be awesome, but if not, one would be fine, one color would be fine. And if you can find a piece of chalk laying around somewhere, that would be great. So not everybody will have all these things, but chances are you might, if you look around the house, might find some of these things. Other thing that you might want to think about looking for is some play-doh. I'm going to incorporate that into an activity I'm going to show you. And maybe some construction paper, or this is actually one of those foam sheets of paper, but you could use construction paper or any kind of colored paper. And I had some stickers, but you could also draw. This has a smiley face right here. So just with these things, most of which you could create or find some way to create or cut up a piece of cardboard, for example, around the house, and do some activities that are recommended with handwriting without tears. Some of you watching this, many of you watching this, probably have heard of handwriting without tears before, and they have a wonderful strategy that they share with individuals called wet, dry, try to work on writing. So I want to show you, I'll show you the process first on one of their chalkboards. So a parent could go ahead and write the letter that they want the child to practice on the chalkboard. We'll start at the smiley face, jump to the top. A little curve and a little curve. So we're going to practice the B. So wet, dry, try would be taking a wet sponge. Now, if you're going to be working near the computer, make sure the water is nowhere near your computer that you might need to dip the sponge. But we're going to trace the B in the same exact steps as if we were using a pencil. For the wet, then we're going to get our dry sponge. Do the same thing as we try to get it to start drying a little bit. And then we're going to take our chalk and do try. So it's starting, up here it's starting to fade away, but we can still see the visual. Just fade it a little bit as we try. Then what I love about these chalkboards is you can flip it over, and now we have no guidance, and we're going to see if we can do that independently. So that's the wet, dry, try method. But I wanted to show you a way that you could practice that at home with a piece of cardboard. Now, I would encourage you to, instead of throwing away your cardboard or recycling it, to cut up a whole bunch of rectangular squares and draw a smiley face, or if you have a smiley face sticker or any sticker of any kind, and put it at the top corner, because that will be a good starting spot for a lot of our letters. And a parent can write the letter that we're going to be working on with the chalk on the piece of cardboard and do the same kind of things. Now, if you don't have a chalkboard. Now, it won't totally go away like it would on a chalkboard if you wash it really, really nice. However, it will give some repetitive practice in a similar way as with the chalkboard. So we'll do the wet version. I need to get some more water on my sponge, I think. Okay, so we still see it. It's a little bit faded away. Then we're going to do the same thing with the dry version, with the dry sponge. And so now we still have a visual, but we're doing this. It's just in another repetitive way for a third time with the chalk, tracing over it. And now we can flip over the cardboard and see if we can do it independently. So that's one way that you can practice your letters with a piece of chalk and some cardboard. Now if you have a piece of construction paper or foam paper where you can use this, you can also take some Play-Doh and practice building those letters. Now Handwriting Without Tears has a really nice one that you can purchase. It's blue and has I believe a little smiley face sticker at the top left. And so you could always do that. But if you're at home and you don't have that available, you can create something similar. So here, a student could be working on, you could work on using two hands together, adding a little extra sensory component to build the letters, and you're building it on the piece of paper or the foam sheet. A parent could show you the letter while the student builds, or the parent could build at the same time as the student is building with the Play-Doh. Lots of fun things that you can do with some of these things that some kids might already have laying around the house, possibly. Play-Doh, building letters, drawing letters in repetitive ways, using things like sponges, water, cardboard, chalk, all to do that repetitive handwriting practice. So hopefully you can look around the house, do a scavenger hunt, see if you can find some of those things, and practice some of the letters that you need to work on this week. Have fun!